Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I had begun on the topic that is marking out security system zones, whereby I did an introduction. I explained what it means by marking out in my video 1. I also explained the importance of marking out, the advantages, and in my video 2 I did something to do with terms associated with marking out zones in the security systems, the terms you use, what they mean, and their specific purpose and function. Now in this video I am going to focus specific on my focus is on types of video surveillance zoning, tools used in zoning for a security system. And when it comes to the types of video surveillance zoning, it simply implies that these are the specific videos that apply to a specific zoning. And when you talk of a specific zoning, it simply implies based on the function of that zone, based on how sensitive it is when it comes to security, and again, if it's an area of interest either to the owner, it can be an area of interest to the occupants. So this can, for example, it can be a door, a window, and such things, that is the door, the windows, and other entry or exit points. It can be an area of interest where security is much needed. For example, it can be at the perimeter or at the boundaries of a given premises. So all that combined, and with that in mind, is whereby now we are able to come up with specific video surveillance tailor-made for a specific zone. Now to begin with, we have the first type of video surveillance zoning. We have what we refer to as the perimeter zoning, and perimeter zoning simply implies this is a video surveillance zoning which simply stands for the outward boundaries of a given premises. So this is monitoring the outer boundaries of a property. E.g., you may decide to do your monitoring along the fence. Now fence here stands for an outer boundary or the outer enclosure of a building, and the purpose is to detect and prevent unauthorized access such as intruders. You may have intruders who want to force themselves inside the given premises, and now the reason why you need this video surveillance, that is the perimeter zoning, is to detect and prevent unauthorized access of intruders reaching your building area or your building's premises or any other premise of interest where security is required. On the implementation, this is simply done by strategically placing cameras along fences, walls, gates and the driveways. So the cameras that are placed, they must be strategically. Strategically here simply stands for the view must be optimum, and again it must provide a very quality view, a very clean view in form of the footages, so that you may be able to know what is it or what happens in that area. So in case of a security breach, you may want to understand what was the actual thing that was happening. Now, these cameras often have features like they have the feature of a night vision, motion detection, tamper alert, and all these features are tailor-made in order to enhance security. They are also tailor-made in order to enhance true alarms and true notifications in case of a security breach. So let's look at the benefits. Benefits of having a perimeter zoning is it provides an early warning system, deters potential intruders, and helps in responding to security breaches promptly. So the main benefit of this perimeter zoning is to give an early warning signal. It gives an early warning signal to whether the security personnel or to whoever is at the monitoring room or the monitoring point, and they are able to plan effectively and with a lot of urgency on how to respond to that issue. The advantages: one is there's an early detection. It provides an early warning system by detecting potential intruders before they reach the building. So you get a signal as early as possible, informing you guys ABCD that is happening at a certain point or in a certain point of the fence, and now you are able to prepare. It deters the deterrence effect. Now, visible cameras can deter potential intruders from attempting to breach the property. What this simply means is, with those cameras being visible along the fence, along the perimeter walls, along the gate, or along the driveways, it is very hard for people to now misbehave or breach security. For example, take a crucial example in a high school scenario whereby you have students who are not well manned up in terms of the behavior. So if the school whereby the students are not afraid of jumping over the fence, once you install this perimeter zoning security systems, that behavior of jumping over the fence will cease. And it will cease because in the back of the mind of these students, they can be able to see camera, and that camera will prevent them from committing such crimes. Then there is enhanced security. Now with this perimeter zoning, with all the equipments being used there, then they will enhance security simply by adding an extra layer of security, creating a buffer zone around the premises. And on the disadvantages, we have the issue of cost. Now this zone comes with an added cost on what was initially there. So that means installing cameras around the entire perimeter can be very expensive. Then two, we have coverage gaps. Large perimeter might have blind spots or areas with inadequate coverage. That means the angle of coverage is not covered. That simply means not all the points are being covered. So you may have blind spots, and with these blind spots, they may become areas or points where security breach mainly occurs. Then there is the environmental factors. This simply stands for the weather conditions such as the rain, the snow, the fog, the mist, and these may cover the viewing or the viewing ability of the cameras. They may also hinder sensors due to that covering, the covering that is being provided now by the weather conditions. And with that covering, they may not work effectively. They will not be effective in terms of video recording, in terms of sensing the actual conditions or the actual status. Remember, we talked about the zone status, whereby we said it is the actual condition of any given specific zone at any given point of time. So you find that when the weather conditions are harsh, that is when there is a heavy downpour, there is formation of fog or snow, so the actual status of the zone becomes difficult to determine. So the other type of a video surveillance zoning is the entrance and the exit zoning. So this is mainly employed or implemented at the entry point stroke the exit points. So surveillance of all entry and exit points within a building or in a building or of a building. Purpose: this is to monitor and record individuals entering and leaving the premises, ensuring only authorized individuals have access. So this ensures only authorized access is granted. So this one may be simply implemented with the help of cameras being installed at the doors, windows, the loading docks, or the emergency exits. And these cameras must be of very high resolutions. Why the high resolution? You need to have a clear view. For example, if you are living in an apartment in a gated community, and in this gated community, high chances are every household has its own gate. Now at that gate, it will be very necessary if you have a surveillance system, and with this surveillance system, it has to be the modern one, whereby you have a camera installed there, and through that camera you are able to view or see in your monitoring station whoever is around your gate. It may be your visitor you recognize, it may be those people who do deliveries. So you have to view first before letting them in to your premises. You have to know who is that person at my gate, or who is that person at my main entry point. And if you don't recognize, then that surveillance system of yours must provide you with an avenue where you can communicate directly to that visitor at the gate. Let's use the word visitor for a better word for now. This zoning may also include the access control integration, for example the video intercom systems. So here as I was saying, the access control integration now would be the one that will provide you with an avenue of interrogating further to know whoever is at the gate, and that occurs mainly if you be suspicious of that person. You may communicate directly, and this one is mostly supported by the video intercom systems. So maybe a very brief discussion on the video intercom systems. We'll look at what they are, what they do, and maybe a reason why we need them, and also the different categories or the different types. Yeah. Now for the video intercoms systems, they are simply an audio intercom system integrated with a camera for surveillance. Now the camera may be an inbuilt camera within the hardware, or it may be a veiled separate from the intercom hardware as an add-on component. And the main reason why we have the video intercom systems is for us to enable a video and an audio communication between two or more different locations. So they provide that avenue whereby you can have a video, that's a live video recording, and that live video recording is being accompanied by an audio communication. And as I was saying on the implementation part, this one now gives you a leeway to communicate and interrogate further to know whoever is at the doorstep. You may also get to know, or you may be interested to know why they are at your door, what they need, and such things. Then, under these video intercom systems, there are of two main categories. And the first category is we have the wired video intercom systems, and with this wired, they use cables to connect. They are linked by cables. That is, if you have a video recording at the gate, it is being linked with a cable to the indoor monitors. Now these indoor monitors is whereby the owner is able to view and see a live recording. Then the other main category is the wireless video intercom systems, and this one they mainly use radio frequencies or VoIP, that is capital V, small letter O, capital letter I, capital letter P, and this one simply stands for voice over the internet protocol, VoIP, voice over the internet protocol technology, and this is mainly to transmit the voice and the video signal together. And we have some other subdivisions, and these other subdivisions are mainly based on the two main categories. So we may have a residential doorbell intercom, and these ones are used in single family homes and apartments. They comprise of a doorbell unit, an indoor monitor, and an outdoor camera. Then we have the commercial video intercoms, mainly used in commercial places like business premises. Then we have the IP video intercom. IP stands for the Internet Protocol, and this one mainly uses internet, that is the internet network, for their functionality. Then the other subcategory is the smartphone video intercoms, and again these are mainly operated through the phones, so what they are able to provide the live recording direct to a smartphone. So that means they must be linked with specific smartphones that will be receiving the signals. Then we have the room-to-room video intercoms, and these ones are used within a premise, inside a premise, and mainly they can be used by people conducting interviews, that is sensitive interviews, whereby the interviewee is not being subjected to whoever is interviewing him or her. This is whereby the interviewee cannot see whoever is conducting the interview, and this one is mainly done for security purposes and also for privacies. Then we have the multi-tenant video intercoms. Then the other subdivision is the cloud-based video intercoms, and these ones mainly they are operated mainly from the cloud, and they are able to record and save their footages or their videos in the cloud. And these video intercom systems have a couple of benefits, and one of the benefits is they provide improved security, since they allow you to see who is at your door before letting them in. That's what I was saying. They give you an opportunity to interact with your visitors right at the gate before you give them access to your premise. Then there is increased confidentiality, as you can communicate with the visitors without having to open the door. You can speak to them without having necessarily going to the gate and opening the gate for them. Then the other advantage is they offer better communication channel, as it allows occupants to communicate with each other face to face. They give that interface whereby you can be able to communicate with one another, and the assimilation is like you communicating face to face. Then they provide peace of mind, as you can be able to monitor your property premises, and this is mainly enjoyable if you are far away. If you are far away, you can still use these video intercom systems for monitoring. Then the other advantage is there's a reduced package of theft. And to explain this, there are these scenarios whereby someone knocks at the door, and the owner of the house being so innocent and so sincere to opening and letting the visitor in, then the visitor decides to take advantage of the occupant, and the visitor might portray him or herself as a very good person, whereby the owner cannot suspect anything. So with these video intercoms, after conducting a preliminary cross-examination to know and understand better who your visitor is, once you sense there is something fishy with that visitor, you may decide not to give them access. And with that doing, there is reduced package of people portraying to be visitors or delivery guys, and at the end they end up committing a theft or a crime at the very rightful premises they pretended to be visitors. Then let's now look at the benefit of exit stroke entry zoning. One is there's enhanced security, and this is provided by you are able to verify identities, control access, and maintain a record of entries and exit. So that's a very vital benefit. You are able to verify identities. That is part number one. You are able to control the access. So it is until you give permission. Now the system is able to unlock or lock. Then there is a record keeping. The system is able to do a record keeping, indicating the entries and the exit. And in this entry and exit, it is able to record the time someone made an entry or an exit. It is able to capture the image of that person. It is able to capture even the dressing code of that person. And after it has done that, now it records properly. And this recording mainly serves for a future reference. Maybe an incident happened that day. So if you want to know who and the people who accessed your premises, then I believe this one serves in a better position in giving that record or in providing the record. Then the other benefit is it also assists in emergency situation by tracking evacuation routines. In case of an emergency, the evacuation routines are easily plotted out and traced and easily communicated to whoever needs to be evacuated, or the evacuation team in other words. Then there's the advantages. Advantage number one is it provides access control. That is, it can deny or grant, and through these monitors and controls, it monitors and controls who enters or exits the premise, improving on the overall security. That's why I was saying it is able to grant or deny access. Then the other advantage is it provides a detailed records. The recording is well done, well detailed, with all the useful information that might be very useful in case there's an investigation taking place. Then there is enhanced identification. In this case, high resolution cameras capture clear images for identification purposes. Disadvantages: one is privacy concerns, and this one is prompt due to that continuous monitoring at entry points may raise privacy issues among employees and visitors. So there are people who don't like being monitored. There are people who don't like being captured in cameras in premises, either where they work or where they do their shopping. So you find out that now this comes out as a disadvantage, since if you don't feel comfortable each and every time being recorded, once I make an entry, I'm recorded. Once I make an exit, I'm recorded. That one doesn't sound good with some people, and they dislike it since they feel their privacy is no longer private again. Then there is high traffic. This mainly occurs in busy entrances and exits. So busy entrances may require more sophisticated and expensive equipment to handle high traffic volume efficiently. Then we have the issue of maintenance. Cameras at entry and exit points may require frequent maintenance due to high usage. That continuous usage each and every day. It means the softwares must be updated, and again, if there's an issue with the hardware, it means it has to be maintained and kept running at any given point. Then the third type of video surveillance zoning is the critical area zoning, and this is surveillance focused on high sensitive security areas within the premise. So for example, this is mostly applicable to people who do, for example, let's say people who do fruit farming. So a person who does fruit farming at his or her premises may require this kind of video surveillance zoning, simply because he has an area of interest, and that area of interest need to be protected at all cost. He has to take care of that area to ensure that there are no intruders coming to reap what they haven't taken care of. The purpose is to provide enhanced monitoring and protection for areas containing valuable or sensitive assets. You provide enhanced monitoring, so you improve the monitoring of sensitive areas, sensitive assets, and valuable items within your premise. Then we have the implementation part, and again this requires cameras that has or have high resolution. They are able to do facial recognition, and they have tamper alarms, and they are mainly installed if maybe it's an institution. They can be installed at the server rooms, the laboratories, or the top executive offices. And the main purpose is to protect and monitor valuable or sensitive assets. Then we have the benefits. Benefit number one is it ensures maximum security for the maximum sensitive parts of the premises, and this prevent theft, vandalism, and unauthorized access. Then it also helps to maintain compliance with the regulatory standards. So you are able to do a compliance check, and you check against the set standards, and in so doing it is able to help in maintaining that or improving the compliance with the regulatory standards. So advantages we have: it improves security, or it offers high security. It ensures that sensitive areas are under constant surveillance, reducing the risk of theft or unauthorized access. Advanced features: it utilizes advanced camera features like the facial recognition and tamper alert to enhance security. Then there is the issue of compliance, and we say that it helps in meeting regulatory requirements for securing sensitive information or assets. Then on the side of disadvantages is the issue of cost. Advanced surveillance technology can be expensive to install and also to do frequent and regular maintenance. It is complex, requires detailed planning and integration with other security systems. And there is the issue of potential overkill. Overkill may be seen as extensive in areas where the threat level is low, leading to unnecessary expenditure. May be seen as extensive in areas where the threat level is low, leading to unnecessary expenditure. This is to say, it might be installed in an area whereby it is not too busy, it has no traffic to flow of people. So by so doing, that may be termed as unnecessary expenditure. Then we have the other type of video surveillance is the common area zoning. And monitoring shared and high traffic areas within the premise. Purpose to oversee general activities and ensure safety and manage crowd in common spaces. The function of this zoning is to manage the general activity of a very common area. So this common area might be a resting room whereby your workers can have a rest. It can be a common room whereby your employees may be meeting or maybe congregating for a cup of tea or for a bite, that is at lunchtime. So implementation: cameras are placed in lobbies, hallways, staircases, elevators, tea break rooms, and conference areas. These cameras typically cover a wide angles and are positioned to capture large areas. So as I said, this might be a common room, a resting room, or along the staircases, on the elevators, and any other room that is designated for such functions. Then you have the benefits. It enhances overall security by monitoring everyday activities and interactions. It helps in managing incidences like accidents, disputes, and suspicious behavior by ensuring a safe and secure environment. Advantages is it provides the general safety, enhances security in high traffic areas, helping to prevent accidents and manage crowd control. There is incident monitoring, useful for monitoring daily activities and responding to incidents quickly. Then we have wide coverage. Cameras can cover large areas, reducing the number of devices needed. And disadvantages, privacy. Again, monitoring common areas may lead to concerns about employees and visitors' privacy. As I said, this can be a waiting room or any other common room within your premise. So the issue of privacy again is being denied by use of the common area zoning. There is distraction. Visible cameras might distract or make people uncomfortable, affecting their behavior. It causes distraction, so you may feel uncomfortable, and this may affect how you behave and how you portray yourself. There is the data management. Large volumes of footage require effective storage and management solutions. When dealing with large amount of data, it requires a sufficient and effective storage, and also how it is being managed. It has to be managed professionally to avoid losing or altering the data. Then the other type of video surveillance zoning is the parking area zoning. The parking area zoning, and this is surveillance of parking lots, garages, and any other place that is designated for parking. The purpose: to monitor vehicles and pedestrians' activities, ensuring the safety of both vehicles and individuals. Implementation: cameras with features like license plate recognition and wide dynamic range are used to capture clear footage in varying light conditions or in changing light conditions. So these are cameras that are able to recognize and read the license plates of vehicles. They may also have a wide dynamic range and be able to recognize the vehicle's model, and then maybe if it is so intelligent enough, it can also tell, other than the vehicle model, it can also tell the manufacturer of the vehicle. They are placed at entry/exit points and throughout the parking areas. Then we have the benefits. Helps to prevent vehicle theft, vandalism, and unauthorized parking. And maybe uh, a practical example. In our country, we have people work for the county government, and in Kenya they are called the Kanjos. So if the Kanjos could implement this, then it would be very easy for them to monitor the parking lanes right at the offices, and without necessarily coming to the actual parking area, and inspect the vehicles one by one by use of their mobile customized softwares. So they may be able to do that work at the office, and there are certain vehicle bearing a license number on the plate has paid or just not paid the parking fee. Enhances then benefit number 2, it enhances personal safety and for employees and visitors, providing a secure environment in parking facilities to improve the security of employees and visitors. And this simply brings the issue of confidence among the employees and other visitors, that if I leave my car at that point, it will remain untouched, it will remain safe until I come back. So that enhances safety. It gives the confidence, the inside confidence. Then you have the advantages. Advantage number 1 is vehicle security. Protects vehicles from theft, vandalism, and unauthorized access. So there are people with the behavior of once you park a vehicle, they will walk along the parking lane and start pretending that they are all in vehicles. They have also parked their vehicles in the parking lane. But you find out their main agenda is to do theft and vandalize the windows in order to access what you've left inside your vehicle. As the personal safety enhances the safety of individuals using the parking facilities. Incidents resolution. It provides evidence in case of accidents, disputes, or criminal activities in parking areas. Then you have the disadvantage. You have the environmental challenges. Now, since these are outdoor cameras, they can be affected by other conditions such as rain, mist, fog. Hence, they require a robust equipment to be used. Then there's the coverage issues. Large parking areas may need multiple cameras to cover all angles, and this increases the cost of installation, the cost of purchasing the equipment, and also the cost of the labor itself. There is the issue of maintenance. Parking area cameras may require frequent cleaning and maintaining due to the dust, the dirt, and the debris that originate from the moving in and out of vehicles. So, and this may occur in large quantities where the parking lane is not cemented, or it has no cabros. Then the other type of video surveillance zoning is the perimeter of building zoning. And this is surveillance focused on the immediate surrounding of the building structure. And there is the purpose. Purpose is to monitor activities around the building exterior, including windows, doors, and other potential entry points. Then you have the implementation. Cameras are installed to cover all sides of the building, often equipped with motion detection ability and night vision capabilities. So here you install cameras that are able to detect motion and have the capability of night vision. Then the benefits: provides an additional layer of security by monitoring areas not covered by perimeter fencing. It provides a layer of security by monitoring areas not covered by the perimeter fencing. It helps in detecting attempts to breach the building and acts as a deter to potential intruders. Then you have the advantages. It offers an additional security layer. Monitoring areas immediate around the building, catching any activity near the windows and doors. It acts as a deterrent. Visible surveillance can deter attempts to breach the building. Flexibility can be integrated with perimeter zoning for layered security measures. Disadvantages: the issue of overlapping may overlap with perimeter zoning, leading to redundant coverage and increased cost. Environmental exposure: cameras are exposed to weather elements, potentially affecting performance and their longevity. How this affects how they perform and how long they can be operational. You have the complex installation. Installing cameras around building perimeter may require complex wiring and mounting solutions. Now, the other thing was tools used in zoning for security systems. We have the first one as the measuring tools. These are tools used to measure distances, maybe angles in that direction. So you have the tape measure for measuring distance and dimensions of areas. Then there is the laser distance meter for quick and accurate distance measurement. Then we have the mapping tools. These are simply used for mapping the area. We have the blueprints plan, stock plans to visualize the layout of the area being secured. Then we have the GIS software, that is Geographic Information Systems, for mapping and planning. We have leveling tools. We have the spirit level under the leveling tools to ensure equipment is installed straight and straight in terms of the horizontal view and the vertical view. We have the plumb ball for vertical alignment of installation. We have the marking tools. You have the chalk line for marking straight lines over distances. You have permanent markers for marking specific location on walls or floor. You have the add tools, and under this you have the drill. We have the pliers for gripping and manipulating wires and connectors. Screwdriver as an add tool for securing devices to surfaces, for fastening devices to services. And the other one are the installation tools. Under this we have the drill for creating holes for monitoring equipment, for securing devices to walls and or selling hose. Then we have the cable management tools. We have cable ties for organizing and securing cables, and there's cable clips for attaching cables to walls or services. And we have the safety tools, safety goggles to protect eyes during installation from dust and other harmful substances to the eyes. We have gloves for hand protection while working with tools, that is to avoid the blisters. And having said that, this brings us to the end of our lesson today. Kindly subscribe, kindly share, comment, give your views as far as what we have covered so far is concerned. Okay, thank you for listening and thank you for watching. I will be your tutor, so watch more for more videos. Yes.